Welcome back to another oh so fun episode of Cyber Talks to Cyber. So it's come to my attention that a couple of you out there, really more than a couple, are enjoying these. So I figured that, hey, no time like the present. Uh, if there's one thing I've noticed, life is definitely coming at people fast. And that's not bad. That's good. Uh, it's good because I think now we more than ever actually have time to sit down and process things and think about what is my next course of action and how effective will I be when I act. Now, speaking of action, don't worry. The game we're playing is League of Legends. This will be the stuff and things that's just happening in the background. In this wonderful 5v5 matchup of very eccentric personalities, they will do their best to impose their alpha stance on one another using flashing lights, colors, and sometimes questionable words.
What are you playing
When it comes to my content, and I know there are a lot of people who don't realize it, but they themselves
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
also make content. If you were to break down what is content, content is just being
30
alive.
seconds until minions spawn.
That's content. I can't put it in a box because we're not going to. I think when we start putting things in the box,
That was only a warning shot.
that's where we get in trouble because it stifles our creativity. So, hear me out. Just start making. Start making stuff.
Minions have spawned.
To take time and reflect on. And again, we may win or lose in this match. Doesn't matter. What really matters is
Let's be friends forever.
we had this beautiful moment right here together.
Everyone's a hero.
That's all that
Till you
matters.
shoot off a leg or two.
So, the beautiful moments that you make with yourself or with others. That's new. It's what it is. So, you love it, use it, enjoy it. It's the new ability. Wow, it looks like Thor's hammer. Try this out. Let's see what this looks like. Okay. Alright. Luckily for us, I think my passive is the same. The longer I'm in combat, the more damage I do. Back out of that. I got a potion going, so I should be okay. Still got a last hit. It's suicidal, but we gotta. Oh, that's how that works. Okay, interesting.
Easy, partner.
Last inning grants us the gold. The gold grants us the money to get equipment. And that's the name of this game. So, like I was saying, when it goes to figuring out like what we have a lot of free time on our hands right now. For those that aren't aware, this is taking place during the quarantine phase of the sci-fi action thriller My Life,
Go ahead. I like targets.
as seen on CNN. So we're doing our best to stop this COVID-19. It's basically a bully of a
Think
bully of a virus. And everyone's doing their part by doing what's called quarantining, or how do we put it? What is it? Self-quarantine? Yes, that's what it is. Self-quarantine. So you, in your rational mindset, have decided to quarantine thyself. Oof. And in doing so, curbying the whole virus and everything, which is great because then the amount of people that are infected will be reduced overall. People will go through their symptoms, and yeah, the virus will just kind of die out. I think that's the expectation. So we all have a lot of free time on our hands. So what are you doing with it? Now, I don't mean to bully, but I just kind of want to point out all this free time is a great opportunity to do that thing
Always trouble.
that you've always wanted to do. Now, for me, one of those things is this, and I suppose it's just creating a wonderful audio-centric melody of thoughts and such, and you know, podcast. At least that's what they sound like to me. I really do enjoy them. You basically, you know, listen to someone's formula of
Let's settle the score.
how they decide to keep a conversation going. Luckily, just alone in some situations. I say luckily just because I find it a little easier to keep my train of thought.
I ain't got time to bleed.
Now, it's not like I'm not active listening. No, that's not it. It's just sometimes, you know, as all minds, they tend to wander. There's nothing wrong with that. Healthy. I think your mind should wander from time to time. If our minds didn't wander, we wouldn't come up with these amazing ideas and wonderful inventions and
You have slain an enemy. An enemy has been slain.
I think in that moment there, I had an idea of what I was going to do, and my mind wandered, and even I was just like, well, where's this going? What's going to happen? It looks like it worked out for the best. You know, color me dandy, but I just realized there's buckshots right above his character. That's pretty cool. I'm alright with that. Never noticed that before. That must be part of his rework. So, why should you be playing League of Legends? Well, League of Legends is one of those games that has meta decisions. Every meta decision that I've made thus far to go back to base, buy these armor boots when I'm physical damage
Got any
character.
ideas?
These meta decisions will hopefully all work out in a positive direction and win us the game. And how I'll know it's working is because it should feel as if I'm exerting very little effort towards a victory. And that's just how energy should flow. So now, as I've made my way back to lane, doing my best now. I understand my character a little better now that I can see the buckshots above him and know how some of this stuff works. Play this game, remember from the beginning of our little tangent of the conversation, I was explaining how back in 5 years ago? 5 years ago is what we agreed on. 5 years ago, I played a lot of this. And it was mainly just because I really wanted to enjoy, again, like I said before, something that has tons of meta decisions involved. I have to admit, one meta decision I should have taken into account was getting some potions. I thought about it, I just didn't do it. Hungry for it. Watch out for the trap. I mean, I could the bush, right? Yeah. Nice. Perfect. So again, very interesting how the meta decision to get armor worked out in our favor, because I was able to just kind of like hang in the fight. You might have missed it if you're just listening in. There was a lot of happening, and all of a sudden I won and someone died. But there's a ebb and flow to these kind of games, and I'm deciding, let's go. There we go. Let's go a little high. Feeling lucky. So I think something else that actually really helped me get a grasp on getting better at managing my time is that in these types of games, they last roughly about 45 minutes. A good one would be a good 45 minutes or so. I think those are the good. The best ones are about 20 minutes.
This shall end thee. Nowhere to hide. Shut down. Lumen. You have slain an enemy.
Let's use that potion we got, right? Or else what was the point? Now, sadly, we survived the Leona. We weren't able to finish off Caitlyn.
They picked the wrong fight.
Well, luckily, we survived the Leona. Sadly, I would have liked to do more oomph. But there were a lot of little meta decisions that I made. One of the worst was, you might have noticed that, misplaced flash. In certain situations, there's no reason for me to get closer to someone that needs to get closer to me. But I guess that's what I get for switching around flash and my
An ally has been slain.
flash and my ignite. You can change a lot of these things, by the way. A lot of the game is customizable, and I think that's what makes a lot of people very interested in it. You'll find a champion, maybe one that has great voice lines, or another champion that just really speaks to you when it comes to their swagger, or how they themselves conduct themselves. I think we're super lucky to be in a time where a lot of these games just really cater to so many types of people. Get shot off. Like that. Oh, yep. So we survived that again. So the reason why I chose this character in particular, he has an amazing combat passive. Combat passive. Or I always get this confused. Is it an active? And I think this is the part about podcasts that I enjoy the most. The vulnerability, I don't remember. If something is always, it must be an active, right? Passives are...
Let's settle the score.
Wait. So here's the confusing part. It's a passive. Something that... if it's a passive, is it something that's always active? If that's the case, doesn't it make it active? Either way, the longer Graves stays in a fight, and that's the character I'm using, the higher his armor becomes. So you can imagine
An enemy has been slain.
a lady with a sword and a shield trying to bully me. And I hang out for a bit and just, you know, soak up some damage and soak up some sun.
An enemy has been slain.
Exchange a couple of blows or shots with her. After a while, I'll be pretty okay. Now I could be wrong. All of us could be wrong. They could have changed them. I could be using outdated information. Welcome to the current, my current state, or my current mindset of League of Legends. Played a long time ago. I do. Well, we always need crit. Always need crit. That's the last bit of oomph that we're missing. So again, meta decisions. Critical strike. It's gonna make a lot of those little hits I do have a bit of oomph to them. This guy looks like a lot of fun to play, actually. I think he steals people's abilities.
I got no time for games.
Boom. Headshot.
I really do hope everyone's here.
Headshot.
Go ahead. I like moving targets.
Going back to one of the disappointing things about meta decisions is, in a game like this, sometimes your allies will disconnect. And it'll happen at the beginning of the fight, which is the worst. I was in a situation the other night where everyone survived.
Headshot.
Well, let me rephrase that. Everyone, the guy who disconnected came back. I don't know why I phrased it that way. Thanks, because Leona just came down the lane, and the first thing I'm thinking about is not dying.
Ally has been slain.
Looks like Ari just took a life in the jungle.
Executed.
Did Garen just die to a tower? I think so. Enemy team Garen is throwing the game. This proves a very interesting point.
What are you playing at?
Just do what you can with what you have. Do what you can with what you have. And just be satisfied with the result. You don't always, of course, judge that accordingly. You know, judge that accordingly. You don't always have to comply. Definitely improve. But in doing all that improving, give yourself some credit because you're doing it. Whatever it is that you're doing, just give yourself some credit because you're doing it. Definitely never look for it in an external source. It helps. That validation always helps. It does. Trust me. It does. It feels nice. It feels good. Oh, someone likes what I'm doing. This feels great. It feels great. It does. But you got to do it for you. Even if it's just because you like seeing yourself doing it. That's fine. That's okay. In these types of games, you can use information to your advantage. So they throw out with these things called wards. Wards give us and grant us vision.
Killing spree.
And we put out a ward there. Huh. How does this work now? Okay, ultimate looks exactly the same. I basically fire a giant... it's like a meteorite at my opponent. So meta decisions, right? Meta decision was made for the support to stay here.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Probably could have just left. I think at this point.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Feeling lucky.
I think we're pretty strong too. So we do get terms ganked. Should be alright.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Mission observed.
Shut down.
No.
Rampage.
Probably. You think she's gonna do it?
Double kill.
Yeah, we'll just go back, right? So there are these things called team fights. They happen as well. Team fights are pretty yummy.
Tickle.
Team fights are basically where the opponent will want to scrap with us all at one time. And we, of course, have to fight for our lives. And it's always a great time. Allows everyone to flex. That's kind of the whole point. Team flexing.
Shut down.
Not everyone has what it takes.
Again, going back to League, it has interesting creatures. Interesting creatures and characters. I kept trying to go over one of those interesting creatures or characters, but they kept going over my corpse or my allies. So yeah, just make stuff. I think that's what makes this so great. It's just make stuff. Just get out there and make stuff. That's so hard? Is that so bad? It's not so bad, right? Just get on out there, make some stuff. Love what you make. Just keep on making it.
Easy, partner.
Let's see, are we behind? We are.
Rampage.
It's like one of my allies has about 2 levels over me.
Always trouble.
Alright, let's box. Oh, cool. Looks like this turret has just 3 hits away. Yes, we are. We're still in the middle of one of those flexes I was talking about.
Rampage. Your team.
Oh, that young lady's dangerous. If you ever wanted to be a extremely attractive fox girl, sometimes a teacher, sometimes a student,
An ally has been slain.
but always a fox girl.
Ally has been slain.
This game's definitely got you covered.
What are you playing at?
get back out there.
An enemy has been slain.
Meta decisions, right? We hope to be the master of them.
Try me.
That's what it's all about. Hope to be the master of meta decisions. So, this game also has objectives, like a dragon. Shows up, we fight the dragon, gives us a buff, and shows the enemy team that we know what we're doing. It's good stuff. Dragon's good. Very intimidating.
Got any bright ideas?
Has slain an enemy. An ally has been slain. You have slain an enemy. Double kill. Triple kill. Your team has destroyed a turret.
Meta decisions. That was silly. So, a situation like that. What else is there for us to do? We stood under the turret, looked death in the eye, and you said, "You know what? We got enough gold. I think it's time to go back and buy."
Your team has destroyed a turret. An enemy has been slain.
So this feels nice. A healthy team of other folks who've made wonderful meta decisions. And
Come closer. Like right in my
a lot of these meta decisions just start with rituals. So, step 1. Do certain things every day because it's important. Why? Because. Do it to keep you sharp. Do it to keep you focused. Do it because any other way of life would just be... No, it just wouldn't be worth living.
An enemy has been slain. Your team has destroyed a turret.
And it could be anything. It could be you wake up early, take a cold shower, or just take a warm shower too. Warm shower. Let's start with the warm water and gradually move our way over. Be you check in with certain people every day. Just be you spent a good amount of time just by yourself. Be any of those things. But it starts with rituals. In League, our items build into stuff. So all of these items will turn into other items. So the ritual would be, if I want to get to this, I got to start with dagger. I got to start with this, whatever this is.
Easy, partner.
Trust me, there's no way around it. But those rituals will save your life. And they'll also keep you
Ally has been slain.
mentally, constructive, which is good. It's good. It's good. Listen, it's good. It's good stuff.
Easy, partner.
Oh, Graves. Oh, Graves. Ah, there we go.
Destroyed an inhibitor.
Felt like that took forever.
Think I'm bluffing.
Boom. Headshot.
Make these rituals about you. Make them important.
Shed and shed alike. Go ahead. I like
Calibrated.
You can't go both ways.
An enemy has been slain.
We find ourselves in a rough situation where the Aurelia was right there. Let's go with that instead.
What are you playing
So, you know, just be a minion. One of these guys. They're part of the ritual too. Be a minion and become a stronger minion and become a champion. Become your local champion. Doesn't take much. Sometimes it just involves you maybe taking a little extra care of yourself. So like I said, do that thing you want to do. It's about that time. It's important. It's important to you. I think it'll grow you. Whatever that thing is that you want to do.
Being bad does hurt.
You have slain an enemy.
Take a chance. Take a gamble. It's okay. You gotta. Why not? What's why? What's the why? I know you can do it. You know you can do it. So, it looks like almost the conclusion of this match. If you yourself want to play League alongside myself, I'm more than happy to play with you. I generally don't. Do the trash talking and the whole nine. And I went through that phase. We did all that stuff already. I'm a sleeper 5-year veteran. But if you just want to join in and fill that slot so you don't end up as an AFK Garen or end up having one on your team, more than welcome. That was good. That was a nice little block. So there's a Caitlyn on the enemy team, and every time she uses her ultimate, she locks onto an enemy champion, and she does this sharpshooting technique that will snipe them and do a lot of damage. Our allies will actually see the laser sight of that attack, and they've been blocking it. So we actually haven't gotten hit by it.
An ally has been slain. Your team has destroyed a turret.
I think Fiora's taken us a victory. Yep, almost.
Rampage.
And I think that'll be that.
Team has destroyed a turret.
I hold on to the little health nugget down there for a bit. Just an extra 150. Use an app called blitz.gg that helps me
Has been slain.
understand what's when and what's going on. Probably going to yell at me for the farm and not placing any turrets. But thank you for listening to another episode of Cyber Talks to Cyber. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.